Hey everybody, what's going on? My name is Rick Connor and welcome to Rassle Rock's review of WWE Crown Jewel 2021. Before we get started here, I just want to say I am not here to talk politics to you. I'm not here to tell you what I think is right and wrong. This show took place in Saudi Arabia. A lot of people know what is going on in Saudi Arabia, and if you don't like it, that's not what we're here to talk about. But that's not saying that you shouldn't speak up about it. Speak up about it. Eventually, if enough people are saying what they think is right and wrong, and what is wrong in Saudi Arabia, eventually someone who's a lot smarter than I am is going to turn around and say what is wrong and how they can fix it, and somebody who's in a position of power in Saudi Arabia can go, hey, that person makes a lot of sense, let's bring on some change. But for right now, the political hat needs to come off, and the wrestling hat needs to go on, because we're going to be talking about a wrestling show that happened today, and the WWE politics is something that we're definitely going to be talking about. But right now, let's get into it. Rassle Rock's review of WWE Crown Jewel 2021. If you've never seen one of these reviews before, we're going to go over each match individually. I say we, but it's just me today. I am going to be going over each match individually, and we're going to give them a number rating between 1 and 4. The show kicked off with the kickoff show. Surprise, surprise. We had a match on the kickoff show. It was the Usos, the SmackDown WWE Tag Team Champions, versus The Hurt Business, who are on Raw. So this was a non-title match. However, pretty good match, I thought. This was probably the best match that The Hurt Business has ever had, in my estimation. Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander were taking on the Usos, and I thought it was great. Benjamin and Alexander were tagging in and out, working over Jay, constantly over and over and over again, hitting them with everything that they could. Had a couple of near falls, and then Jay makes that hot tag to Jimmy, and it was just all over. Double super kick for the win. Usos win the match. This I thought was really good. I thought it was really good back and forth. I thought it got the crowd nice and heated up and ready for the event. It did what it had to do. I'm going to give it a 3. The show then kicked off proper. And my God, who decided that we should open this show with Edge and Seth Rollins in a Hell in a Cell match? I mean, I just feel bad for everyone who has to follow this, because it's Edge and Seth Rollins. These two could sit down in a chair and just have a staring match and see who blinks first and have it go 20 minutes, and it would be more entertaining than some of the stuff you see every week on Monday Night Raw. They introduced a chair pretty early in the match, like right at the beginning, and Edge grabbed the stick part of the steel chair, the bar that goes across the legs, and he ripped that off. And we've seen this before, where he tries to he put it in the mouth of Rollins, and it does that in the crossface, but it didn't work. Rollins grabbed the stick bar thing and stuck it right in Edge's eye. I had to laugh with Michael Cole saying, wow, it must be really hard to wrestle with one eye. No Rey Mysterio jokes here, please. This was really brutal. There was chairs, there was ladders, there was a table, there was a chain at one point. Seth grabbed a chain and wrapped it around his foot and super kicked Edge right in the face for a near fall. However, in the end, it was Edge who did a curb stomp to Seth Rollins onto a chair for the 1-2-3. This was an absolutely great match, and I hope this was the end of the feud, because it really felt like the end of the feud. But again, I feel bad for everybody who comes after this. You have to try so hard to follow this, and it's insane that they had to follow a Hell in a Cell match between Edge and Seth Rollins. However, the match itself, giving it a 4. Dear God, my hair is insane. Why do I do these things right after I shower? Mansour versus Mustapha Ali was up next, and this match I felt lacked a little tiny bit. Mansour is the big hometown hero, so he comes back to a huge ovation as he always does. And this time, he got the job done again. What made this match really good, I think, was a lot of passion that went into it. Mustapha Ali kept grabbing Mansour and screaming that he wasn't good enough, and that he was nothing, and didn't deserve to be here, and didn't deserve to even be in the same ring as Mustapha Ali. But in the end, slingshot neckbreaker from Mansour, boom, 1-2-3, Mansour gets the win. After the bell, Mustapha Ali attacks Mansour. We're not seeing the end of this feud just yet. Hell no. Mustapha Ali is just putting the boots to him, and then music plays throughout the arena that we've never heard before. A man appears at the top of the ramp in full Saudi garb. We had no idea who this was. The commentary was very quiet, and people were looking like, what is going on? The man gets in the ring, and it turns out it's Olympic silver medalist in karate. I hope I'm getting this name right. Tarek Hamdi. I gotta admit, I had no idea what this was. I didn't know who this person was. I didn't watch the Olympics. I haven't watched the Olympics in several years. But the crowd absolutely knew who this guy was. They went absolutely nuts for him. Hamdi, I'm sorry if I'm butchering that name, kicks Mustapha Ali right in the face. Big giant quick karate kick, knocks him down. Crowd goes nuts. Mansour and him hug. Boom. Hands raised. They walk out of the building together. A nice feel-good moment. I don't know what the deal is with this guy, this Hamdi guy. Hamdi, I'm sorry. I know I'm butchering this name. I know I'm doing it over and over again, and I'm very, very sorry. But is he in WWE? Was this just a one-shot deal? Is he coming to the Performance Center? Is he going to be on Monday Night Raw next week? I don't know the answers to these questions, but I want to find out. Since this was such a feel-good moment, I'm going to have to give it a higher grade than I would have. However, the match was a little lackluster and felt like it probably should have been on Monday Night Raw. It didn't really have the big match feel that I think it should have, so I'm going to have to give it a 2. Say yeah! Up next, however, was Team RK Bro, the Raw Tag Team Champions, taking on and defending the titles against AJ Styles and Omos. What really struck me was Orton came out by himself and looked very confused and was waiting on the ramp for a while as his music was playing, looking around for Riddle, and then all of a sudden Riddle comes out on a camel. I didn't understand this at first. I didn't understand why a camel was involved. I mean, I guess Saudi Arabia, and it felt a little weird to me, but then Michael Cole turned around and said, Riddle riding high to the ring this evening. Oh. The match was really good, though, but again, it felt like it should have been on Monday Night Raw. It didn't have that big match feel. Orton hit the RKO as AJ Styles was coming off the springboard for the phenomenal forearm. We've seen it a million times, but it looks good every single time. So I think it's great. Hopefully this is an end to this feud, and we can move on and get new contenders for the tag team titles, and I'm giving this match a 2 as well. Say yeah! Then we had the Queen's Crown Finals with Doudrop versus Zelina Vega. If you've been following the Queen's Crown tournament on Raw and on SmackDown, it hasn't been great. Each match was probably about 1.5 to 2 minutes long, and this match, the finals of the tournament, about 6 minutes. And there was nothing really there. There was nothing to say, hey, this is a huge match, except the fact that they had a crown on the stage and the commentary team was making a huge deal out of it. Zelina Vega, in the end, hit the code red on Doudrop to score the win, and I threw up my hands and said, dear God, why? First, you give her a name like Doudrop, and then you take her all the way to the finals of a really bad tournament, and then she loses. The former Piper Niven is such a good wrestler, and the fact that she's being treated like a joke is very, very irritating to me. This entire tournament was pretty irritating to me. Look, WWE, I get that you want to push women, you want to come out and say, hey, look, we're treating women like equals, we're treating women just as good as the men. The women are getting all this stuff that the men are getting, but they're not. They're getting shorter matches, not enough time, not enough good storylines, and it's just terrible. Good for Zelina Vega for being the first ever Queen's Crown winner, tournament winner. I don't even know what to call it. Why didn't you just call it Queen of the Ring? So I'm very happy that there finally is a Queen of the Ring, and all congratulations go to Zelina Vega for being the first winner. However, the match, the tournament, the time length, everything, it's getting a 1. We then had a promo for NXT 2.0, and this was for Halloween Havoc. I was very excited to see the little spin the wheel graphic come up. I was very excited. Oh, spin the wheel's coming back. Oh, it's Halloween Havoc. Yes, yes, yes. But it's NXT 2.0, and I realized that I barely even know who was on that show anymore. Because they got rid of half the roster and it's just a mess. And next Tuesday, I guess we'll see if it's good enough to be looked at, even. The very next commercial we saw was for Survivor Series, and the first thing we hear was Michael Cole saying this is the one time a year where Raw takes on SmackDown, which is very strange since we just had a match where Doudrop from Raw faced Zelina Vega from SmackDown, and the show even started off with the SmackDown Tag Team Champions versus a Raw Tag Team. And later on, we have Xavier Woods, who was on Raw, taking on Finn Balor, who was on SmackDown. I mean, the next matchup was the no disqualification match, the no holds barred match between Bobby Lashley and Bill Goldberg. I'd really, really like it if Goldberg could stop saying that he's going to kill people in Saudi Arabia. Can we start with that? Who approved that? Who thought that was a good idea? Also, during the kickoff show, it was announced that this match would be Falls Count anywhere in the building. Just kinda came out of nowhere. Sure. I think this match is the one that I was looking forward to the least because I didn't like their match that they had at SummerSlam. However, this match pretty much kicked ass. It was brutal right from the very beginning. Bobby Lashley pulled a chain out of his trunks and wrapped it around his hand, and as Goldberg came to him at the start of the match, Lashley just got on him. Started beating him down with the chain, and was beating him down until Goldberg hit that spear. And I said, wow, that was really quick. I guess this is over now. Hit the spear, hit the jackhammer, but then he didn't go for the 3. No. Bill Goldberg wants to punish Bobby Lashley. That always works out in wrestling. Except this time it worked out in wrestling. What the heck? Goldberg started beating Lashley up on the outside. He was beating him, and then they got to the ramp where Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander were waiting with kendo sticks. But that didn't work either. Goldberg quickly disposes of Benjamin and Alexander, and then the spear happens right off the stage, knocking Lashley down, straight through some tables, and then Goldberg gets the 1, 2, 3. Not too bad here for Goldberg and Lashley. I forget sometimes that Goldberg can actually bring it when he wants to bring it, and usually that takes place in a no disqualification match, which this was. I'm going to give this match a 3. Next up, we had the King of the Ring Tournament Finals. Xavier Woods versus Finn Balor. And man, there were so many people on Twitter with just pictures of themselves crossing their fingers. I saw several signs in the audience saying, if Woods loses, we riot. Man, oh man, did everybody want this for Woods. And man, oh man, did WWE finally do something right. I mean, the match was just great. It was fantastic from start to finish. These two just went at each other. They said several times these two have never fought each other. And man, I am very, very glad that Finn Balor didn't come out as the Demon this time. Because if he would have lost twice in a row as the Demon, I think it's time to retire the Demon. And I don't want to retire the Demon. I like the Demon. Maybe the Demon died when he fell off the top rope against Roman Reigns last month, whatever it was. I forget when it was. What is wrestling? But Xavier Woods actually won. We have a new King of the Ring, and it is the man that wanted so badly to bring back the King of the Ring tournament, Xavier Woods. This man protested and petitioned and everything. He just wanted this tournament. He loves this tournament when he was young. He loves this tournament now, and now he is officially King of the Ring. The raw emotion here was at an all-time high. I was very, very excited. Congratulations to Xavier Woods. He got what he wanted. It's a dream come true for the man, and I couldn't be happier with it. This match gets a 4.
It's decaying. It's decaying.
Decaying.
Ooh.
Next up was the WWE Championship Match with another member of the New Day, Biggie versus Drew McIntyre. This match was absolutely crazy. I mean, Drew McIntyre stands a full foot over Big E. It is absolutely crazy how huge that man is. And when you see Big E, that man is a brick wall. So these two hitting the ropes and doing shoulder tackles to each other and no one's moving got me excited. I was ready to go. I said, bring it on. McIntyre hit a very, very nice looking spine buster to Big E. And then he followed it up with the Future Shock DDT, but that wasn't enough to put Biggie away. And then Biggie hits the big ending. And everybody said, oh my God, it's over. But it wasn't over. McIntyre kicked out at 2. My God. McIntyre even hit his move. The Claymore kick. Boom. Referee goes 1, referee goes 2, and then Biggie kicks out. Biggie kicked out of the Claymore. You understand how amazing that is? The second big ending, definitely got the job done. Biggie has pinned Drew McIntyre and thus continues on and is just going on with his title reign, and I'm all for it. This match, it wasn't exactly what I was hoping for. Wasn't all that great, but it was really good, and I liked it, and I cheered, so I'm going to give it a 3.
The King? That's what I said, but say it right. Duh. Kang.
God. What was that? What was that?
Next up, we have the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship Match, Triple Threat, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, and Bianca Belair. Dear God, let's go. Saw a lot of people in the crowd rooting for Sasha Banks. You saw a lot of people in the crowd rooting for Bianca Belair, and you saw a lot of people in the crowd rooting for Becky Lynch. This crowd was super hot throughout this entire match. WWE gave these women 20 minutes. Don't know why we can't do it with the other women as well. The big story here seemed like Bianca Belair being incredibly strong. I don't remember her having this much power in any other match. At one point, Bianca Belair did a gorilla press to Sasha Banks and then put down one arm and just held her with one arm in a gorilla press. It was insane. The match goes back and forth as all triple threat matches do. No count out, no disqualification in triple threat matches, at least in WWE and possibly everywhere. Not sure where that rule came from, when it started, or where it goes. Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? Becky Lynch had both Banks and Belair, there's too many B's in this match, had Banks and Belair in the disarmor at the same time, but that wasn't enough to get either woman to tap. Bianca Belair comes in, hits the kiss of death on Lynch, but couldn't get that cover in. Sasha Banks whips her out of the ring, and then Lynch does the old roll up, grabs the ropes for leverage, and gets the 1, 2, 3. Becky Lynch retains the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship, and a lot of people are angry. I mean, I get it. I totally get it. I love Bianca Belair, and I love Sasha Banks. People wanted to see Survivor Series have Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks for the Raw Championship and the SmackDown Championship, and I agree that would have been a great match, but the match that we are probably getting is Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch, because they will be both champions come Survivor Series, at least as of right now, and I've never not loved Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair. It's always a great match. So this match, and the result of this match, and all 3 women in this match, they're getting the big 4.
What was that again? Duh. Kang.
Now we do move on to our main event, the Universal Championship match. Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. And the big story here is, who is Paul Heyman siding with? I think the big story here is Brock Lesnar's first match in 2 years, and Roman Reigns' undefeated streak for the past something like 500 days. It's very, very insane. I was really looking forward to this match, and they did not disappoint me. This match was big move after big move all the way through. There was F5s, there was German suplexes, there was spears, there was Superman punches. Big move after big move after big move after big move. It was one of those matches where it was just great. You were on the seat of your pants the entire time, and you didn't know who was going to win. Then Brock Lesnar picks up Reigns for the F5 and throws him right into the referee. Completely by accident, but that's what happened. Referee Charles Robinson down, dead, gone. I mean, this is a classic WWE move. I was thinking actually earlier today, we haven't seen too many ref bumps these days in WWE. It used to be every single pay-per-view, Austin would knock down a referee. Triple H would knock down a referee. The Undertaker, The Rock, Mankind, Chris Jericho. Poor Earl Hebner bumped more times in the late 90s than Hulk Hogan did. It was very, very insane. So without a referee, we had pretty much no holds barred. And this was the time that Paul Heyman looked very, very nervous. Both Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar were looking to Paul Heyman, saying basically, hey, now's your time, now's your chance. What do you got? Help us out. Paul Heyman grabbed the Universal Championship as Brock Lesnar was reaching for it, as Roman Reigns was reaching for it. He put his head down, he threw the belt in between the two wrestlers and said, you know what you have to do with it, and walked away. That's not an answer. Brock Lesnar grabbed the belt, and then Roman Reigns grabbed the belt, and it ended in this big tug of war. Lesnar powers the belt away, but then turns around, and both Usos are behind him. Bam! Double super kick to Lesnar as Reigns picks up the belt, clobbers Lesnar with the title, and lays him out in the middle of the ring. Roman Reigns covers. Second referee slides in. The referee goes 1. The referee goes 2. The referee goes 3. And now we have a retaining head of the table, Roman Reigns. I loved it. Some people wanted Paul Heyman to pick a side and for this to be the end. But I don't want this to be the end. That was a damn good match. I want to see more of that match. I want to see this feud go on. I want to see Roman Reigns get even bigger by beating Brock Lesnar again. Why not? Or does Lesnar win? Does Lesnar actually be the one to end Reigns' reign? It could happen. And where does Paul Heyman stand? We still don't know. He left with Roman Reigns, but didn't look super happy about it. So I guess we'll wait and see. And I'm excited for it. Let's go for it. I'm all about it. This match gave me exactly what I wanted. I was very worried that they were going to do another Paul Heyman squash. We've done it with Lesnar so many times. We've had Goldberg squash Lesnar. We've had Lesnar squash Kofi Kingston. We've had Lesnar squash John Cena. I thought we were going to see it again just for pure shock value. And I'm very, very glad that we didn't. I'm glad that we got the match that we got. I thought it was great. I'm going to give it a 3.
I have a question for the Watching you do that was too much.
I thought this match was great. I thought this match was exactly what it needed to be, and it left me wanting more. How can that be a bad thing? Overall, I was happy with the show at parts, and I was unhappy with the show at parts. Some matches were great, some matches were duds, and others were right in between. WWE really needs to figure out what they want to do with their women's division. They need to figure out what they want to do with their tag team division on both shows. And they need to figure out what they want to do with their women's tag team division. Because right now, there isn't one. There's just one tag team, and they're the women's tag team champions. And there's no other teams to defend them. So I guess they're just Nikki Cross and Rhea Ripley are just going to be the women's tag team champions forever. So despite the duds and despite the matches that I thought were just okay and probably should have just taken place on Raw, I had a really good time watching this. I really, really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the spectacle of it. It felt, even the matches that weren't big, felt big because it was in that arena and there was fireworks and there was, the crowd was super hot the entire time, which made me have a really good time too. So if everybody's having a good time, it can't be a bad thing. Despite everything that was going on, I'm going to give this entire overall a 3. Did that make sense? Sentences. So let us know what you thought about WWE Crown Jewel 2021. Write some comments down in that comment section below. And please like this video and share this video and subscribe to Rassle Rock on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. And if you can, please head on over to the Rick Connor YouTube channel at CONNOR. Head on over there and subscribe as well. You can see some really, really good independent wrestling on that channel. For now, for Rassle Rock, that'll be about it. We will see you guys next time. I guess it'll be Survivor Series. Bye.
Duck!
That's what you look like.
It was awesome.